Here in Polk County, property assessments were mailed out last week. If you received one, chances are it took your breath away, and not in a good way. Local 5's Mary Sugden explains what's behind the jump.
The Polk County assessor says on average home values jumped 22%. And he says to understand why, we have to look back at the last few years of home sales when he says the housing market was especially hot.
If you go back to 2021, you probably remember interest rates were at an all-time low, a record low, under 3%.
Polk County Assessor Randy Ripperger says these historic rates ultimately impacted supply and demand.
We had a severe shortage of homes for sale and a very, very strong demand, people wanting to buy homes.
High competition meant homes were selling above assessments.
We're at the point now where properties are selling about 25% more than what we have them assessed at, so we have to adjust our values to get within 95 to 105% of that 100% target level.
Ripperger says if his office doesn't adjust values, the Department of Revenue will step in and do it.
If we did not adjust residential properties this spring, the Director of Revenue would issue a 25% increase on all residential property in Polk County.
But just because assessments went up by double digits, Ripperger says your tax bill won't do the same.
After the rollback percentage is going to be applied, when taxes are going to be due on this assessment, most of us will see around a 3% growth in our taxable value. The taxable value is what the actual property tax is calculated off of, not our assessment. So it's not as bad as it first appears when you open your assessment notice.
And if you don't agree with your value, you can protest it in a few different ways. The first being an informal review. That has to be done by April 25th. Basically, you'd bring evidence to the office, and if both sides agree, there'd be a written agreement to adjust your value. The other would be a formal protest. Those had to be submitted by May 1st. And the assessor says he anticipates that Board of Review will be looking at those well into July of this year. Reporting in West Des Moines, Mary Sugden, Local 5 News, we are Iowa.